Hi everyone, this is gonna be my first YouTube video, so I'm probably gonna be really weird. But I saw everyone starting the knitting podcast and I was like, I want to talk to people on YouTube about my knitting. I talk to my partner and my mom all the time, but it'd be nice to have a community of people that also knit, that are interested in the stuff that I'm doing. So I guess why not just jump into it, right? So I guess I'm gonna do this similarly to how other people do it usually. So I'll start with finished objects. And today's video might be a little bit longer and I probably won't post very frequently because I don't usually make that much stuff, but I do have a few finished objects from recently, and then a few works in progress as well, and then a few future project ideas. And I actually have some things to show you that I've made previously that are like related to all the things that I've finished in the past few months. And so I figured why not show you that stuff as well, since it's related to the stuff that I've been working on. So that's the kind of structure I'm gonna do today. It's just finished objects, works in progress, and future plans. So let's jump into it. So the first finished object, which I'm very, very excited about, is this T-Rex knitted vest, and I'll insert some photos, but I'm actually wearing it right now. And this is from the Made in the Moment pattern. I used my own pattern for the vest. Well, not a pattern. I sort of freehanded the vest and then took a couple notes on things. And then I added the chart, the smaller chart from the Made in the Moment T-Rex vest pattern. And the vest that I'm doing is based off of this vest. This is like one of the first things I ever crocheted. And I knew that the V-neck on this was a bit too shallow. It should have been deeper. And so I knew that I wanted my neck to hit at around just a little bit past where this V-neck hits. So that's the only modification I made from the measurements of this vest, basically. So that was how I knew what size I wanted to go for the vest and everything. The one thing that I don't like about this vest, and I'm hoping blocking will help because I haven't blocked this yet, is it's just a hair too short. So like if I lift up my arms, you can see my shirt underneath, and I'm hopeful that blocking will help that. So fingers crossed. I still have to weave in a bunch of ends, but it's basically done. And then the second finished object, which is probably, well, no, I have one more, is actually a sewing project that I've been working on. And it is this tank top. And I can't remember the pattern that I used. I'll link it. She made a YouTube video for this pattern and I used this pattern. It's the first sewing thing that I've ever aligned. So I was really proud of myself for that. And then I just finished, so I finished this about a year ago, but I found I needed to sew one of the seams a little bit closer to the edge. So I actually just hand sewed it. And then I added these grommets, which are cute little flowers. And if you can't see that, I'll put in a picture. But I'm so excited about the grommets, and I'm so excited to wear this as a layering piece, so like on top of long sleeve shirts and stuff, because it is getting cold here in Chicago now. But I'm super pumped, super pumped about this. So that's my other finished object. And then the only other finished object that I have, and I think I finished this last month, is a purse that I made, which looks like this. And I can insert some photos as well. It has a lot of stuff in it right now, so it's kind of heavy. But then I crocheted the strap. So this is a crochet project that I did. And the reason that I made this is because I had previously made, and it's funny because some of the ends are coming out, this crochet bag. This is one of the first things that I ever crocheted as well. And I can insert the video tutorial that I vaguely followed for the shape, and then I kind of winged it for the straps and things like that. And I also added a lining and a zipper. Well, the zipper actually broke, was the first problem with this purse, but it was years after. I've been using this for years at this point, but the strap is also coming apart, and I think I could probably find a way to sew this back up and make it secure again. And maybe I will one day, but I also was just kind of tired of carrying the same purse around all the time for years. So I crocheted this other one, and this one I don't remember. I think I did Lily Sugar and Cream for the first. Is that the name of the yarn? You know, the like basic cotton yarn for the first one. And then this I did Line Brand 24/7 Cotton DK. So that's the yarn for this. For this sweater vest, I didn't even talk about this, but I used a bunch of different yarns, and that's the one other thing I'm like a little bit peeved at myself about, because I use Plymouth yarn, Galway, and like Emerald, I think maybe is the color name for the green. But then I use cotton for the white parts of the skull, a cotton yarn. I think it's the cotton yarn you can get from like Walmart. I can't remember the brand name. And then I used like a little bit of this really special wool that I was given as a gift that was from a local farm in Virginia for the brown parts of the skull. And unfortunately, they're just like slightly different weights, or, you know, because they're different fiber composition. It doesn't lay quite right. I wonder if I can show you this. It kind of like bunches in certain areas. So I don't know. That's the one thing I'm like a little bit peeved at myself about, but I'm hopeful. I don't know. Blocking probably won't help that much with that. But also whenever I wear it and I wear like all my layers underneath, it stretches it out and it's not nearly as noticeable. And I don't really care because it looks really cool anyways. So very excited about that. So that's the yarns that I use. I do have 3 works in progress to talk about, and actually 2 of them are going to be like, can you tell me whether you think I should finish it or frog it? Because ultimately I just don't know. I'm going to start with the one that's not going to be a finish or frog. That's like, I'm for sure going to finish this. So this is a shawl that I'm working on, and originally I bought the yarn to make Andrea Mowry's night shift shawl with it, and then I just found I started it and I was doing fine and I had memorized the pattern and stuff, but I just I wasn't enjoying making it, the process of making it. And so all these yarns were originally intended to go with that pattern. These are all Cascade Superwash Wave, I think is the name of the yarn, and it's like a bunch of different colors. But originally, yeah, I was gonna make that pattern, that cowl pattern or shawl pattern, and I just didn't enjoy following a pattern. That was my first time trying to follow a pattern out of all the things that I've made, and I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't mind actually following the chart from the Made in the Moment pattern because I still made the pattern for the vest myself. I just find that like if I'm making it up as I go, or if I wrote down what I should be doing, it's just easier for me to remember, and I don't feel like I have like this anxiety of like, oh, I've got to look back at the pattern and make sure this is right. And so I just enjoy that a lot more. But so this is one side. It has like the pearl bumps from the color changes on this side. I think I might like this side even better than the smooth side. And this is all garter stitch. And I'm just like increasing on one side to make a triangular shawl. So the problem with this is I actually made something out of 2 of these colors previously. So I started varying the stripe length here and here because I don't have that much of that yarn, because I have this other almost finished object that I don't know if I want to finish. And this is one that I would really love some help on what you all think of, if I should just finish it or if I should frog it. So it's this tank top, basically. Sorry about all the ends from all the color changes on the straps, but it's a ribbed 2x2 tank top with increases at the bust to make a cup. And it's very similar to, if you've seen the Groovy Tank by Midsummer Knits, it's very similar to that. But like I said, I hate following patterns, so I did not follow that pattern. And I think the shaping on the cups is a little bit different, but if you wanted to make something similar, I would really suggest following her pattern. It seems like it's really good and really beautiful, and probably wouldn't have any of the issues that I've had with like my increases not looking super neat or whatever it may be. And so this is like it's like a cute tank top, and it like fits nicely. It's a little big. I think I could have made it a little bit smaller. But I do really like it, and I use 2 of the colors, like I was saying, that I'm also using in the shawl. And now I'm wondering if I'm gonna have enough of those colors if I finish this shawl. But I'm so close to finishing it. I have like a few color strips left of each strap, basically. And I don't think it's gonna take that much yarn. But then I don't know if I'll even wear this, ultimately, is another problem. Like, it's a wool tank top, and I could wear it layering like I said I would do with this, but I just don't know. I just don't know if it is something I would actually wear. Even like the shape of the cups is like, I think I just got inspired and I was like, oh yeah, the shape of the increases is so cool. Like I should totally do something like that. But then I don't think that this is something that I'll wear, especially in this yarn. Like maybe I would wear it as a tank top in like a cotton yarn or something. But even then I don't know that this shape of tank top is something that I'm super interested in. So I don't know. It's so close to being finished. I don't want to just take it apart, but let me know what you think. I need help. And then I do have one other work in progress, which is like a finisher frog. So I started making my first ever cardigan. And this is with Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk in like the natural color. And it's cute. It's beautiful. It's so soft. It's incredibly soft. And I think ultimately I would really like it, but I had a few problems with this. So first, I tried a slightly different method for construction. So I've built things from the top down before, and usually I start with the back neck, and I did that here, but I did something different. I just did a varied rate of like short row turns, because usually I shape the back with short rows. And this led to like this part of the back neck comes up way too high. And I ended up, when I was picking up stitches for the button band, because I was going to do a double knitted button band, which you can see the start of here, I ended up picking up stitches way further back. And like, so ultimately it would end up having 2 layers of knit a little bit at the back, so that might cause like a problem with like a little bit of bunching. I don't know that that would be like the end of the world for me if I looked a little bit hunchbacky. But the other thing that I did is I started increasing for the neckline at a good place, and then for whatever reason I got nervous and I was like, oh, I think this is gonna be increasing too fast. So I stopped increasing, and then I started increasing again way lower. And now there's like sort of 2 bumps of increases, I guess, instead of like a smooth line for like a cardigan. Like I said, this is my very first cardigan, so I don't know if it's a huge deal. The only thing stopping me from like, I would totally just frog this if I had these 2 problems with any other yarn. But the thing that's stopping me from frogging this is I know that brushed alpaca silk is a nightmare to frog. So if anybody has any recommendations, or if you think I should finish it or whatever, let me know. So I haven't done the sleeves. The sleeves and the button band are all that this really lacks. But the button band is such a slog, and I just don't feel excited about it anymore. So let me know what you think. And I will probably use that to decide whether I finish or frog that. In terms of future projects, things that I'm really excited about are making my mom a sweater, which I'm very excited about. And I'm going to be making it out of, I have this like Eddie Bauer yarn that I think it was when Joann's started having their big sales, they carried this yarn. I think it was Joann's, maybe it was Michael's, but it's like wool and alpaca blend. And I made my boyfriend a sweater out of this yarn, and I still had a ton left over. So I was like, oh, I should make another sweater, and my mom loves this color, so I'm gonna make one for my mom. The sweater that I made for my boyfriend is here. It's just like hard to hold up because it's so much yarn. But I did twisted ribbing and a double folded collar, and I really, really loved it. I was so proud of this sweater, and it looks amazing on him. I will insert photos if he will allow it, if I am granted permission. But I didn't follow a pattern for this. I just kind of like had made myself a sweater previously, top down. And I was like, I'm going to use the same construction method for him, but just to his measurements. And I'm so proud of this. This is probably one of the things I'm the most proud of knitting. And my mom, I'm going to do one for her, but I'm going to do a zipper sweater. And I'm not going to follow a pattern, but you could probably do like the petite knit zipper sweater. I'm sure there's lots of really good zipper sweater patterns out there, so I'll link a few below if you're a pattern person. But yeah, that I'm really excited about. I'm also planning to make myself a V-neck sweater, which uses, because I have a little bit of this yarn left over, because I planned originally when I bought this yarn to make a cabled sweater vest, and then I just was like, I don't know about the dark yarn and the cables, so I have extra yarn. So I'm gonna make myself, and I also have an extra skein of Lion Brand Fisherman's wool, or more than one skein extra of this, that I made myself a sweater out of this. I'm gonna make myself another, but I didn't like the fit of that sweater that I made. Like it's a great sweater, the yarn's great. It's rustic, but I like it. I just don't like the way that I constructed the sweater. It was like I said, I made myself that sweater and I made it top down, and it was my first time ever doing that. And the body I think is absolutely perfect. Like I wouldn't change anything about the body. But the sleeves, I think I made the sleeve circumference too big, like picked up too many stitches. And then I had to decrease a lot to get them to the size that I wanted around, you know, the bottom of my arm. And I'm just not happy ultimately with like how I did the sleeves. Maybe I'll frog it, but I made it with one strand of the fisherman's wool and one strand of brushed alpaca silk, and I know that the brushed alpaca silk is going to be annoying to frog. So maybe I'll end up fixing that sweater, I don't know. But that's why I have all this leftover Lion Brand Fisherman's wool, and I'm going to combine that with my leftover green yarn and make a V-neck sweater with kind of one of those big chunky color box stripes. That's something that I've had in my mind for a while, but I have not started just because I just haven't felt like it. But these two yarns are a very similar weight, so I think it'll work out nicely if I do that. So that's my plan for that. And I'm not gonna do acquisitions probably, although I will say I did get the Colorworks vest bundle from Made in the Moment when they did their sale that they contributed all of the proceeds to organizations that are supporting Palestine right now. I was like, I've got to do this, so I went ahead and bought a bundle that included the T-Rex vest and the duck sweater vest as well. And those are the two that I'm like so excited about, because again, like I don't really like following a pattern for the actual construction of the garment, but following a chart, I've realized is not a huge deal for me. So very excited to knit the duck sweater vest. I'm also excited to design some of my own color work stuff, so hopefully in the future that'll be on some of my future plans. I have some plans, but I don't know if I'm actually going to end up making them, so I don't want to talk about it in this video. But if you're interested, let me know. And yeah, I think ultimately those are my major plans in terms of knitting for probably the next like 2 months. I don't know, maybe just a month, because I really enjoyed working with that Eddie Bauer yarn, and it seemed like my boyfriend's sweater kind of flew off my knitting needles. And then hopefully the same thing will happen with my mom's sweater, and same with the fisherman's wool. And this, like I've finished this vest really quickly, would have finished it extremely quickly, but this is my first intarsia or color work project with knitting, so I didn't know, you know, what I was getting into whenever I started it. But the back I finished of this sweater vest like extremely quickly. So yeah, I think that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this, I don't know when the next video is gonna come out, because like I said, this is my first time doing this, and who knows if this video will even see the light of day. But if you enjoyed it, then, you know, keep coming back, keep checking, subscribe if you want, like it, share it, I don't know, do all the things that you're supposed to do with YouTube videos, I guess, if you like them. And maybe I'll see you again. Bye.